our boards and commissions are great places for people to get experience. I'm the chairman of the pension board. I started out on a commission for year-round aquatics. It's something that I volunteered to work on. And there's lots of people even in this room that do those type of things, and that's great. But what's the downside of that is when you work and do all the work that you do and then you don't feel like you're heard. And that kind of goes back to the beginning. How are the people that do this work are heard? So there's two examples that I have that concern me about the boards and commissions. One is, it sounds like a simple issue, but I think it shows a problem that we have. It was the Urban Forestry Commission. So on the Urban Forestry Commission, there's a group of people that make decisions about trees and whatnot that the city owns. And then we have an urban forester that helps with that, that's an employee of the city. And my understanding was that those decisions then were to be followed by the city manager. They weren't just recommendations. And there was a tree that was in UCity that somebody said, I want that tree cut down because too many leaves fall and whatever the issue was. And that may be fine, and I understand that, but through the commission, through the forester, the decision was made the tree should stay. And then the city manager cut it down. So my question is, if it was a decision that he's supposed to follow, how can he just override it? And how does that make the people that did that work, thought they made a good decision, feel? And I think I question that. And the second one is that it sounds like a little issue, it's a tree. They'll probably cut it down, they'll probably plant a new one, life will go on, fine. But the bigger issue was when the firefighters were suspended, and we had people on the Civil Service Commission that looked into that and said, these guys men and women should be put back on the job and they should get their back pay. And the city manager said no. Now, that's an advisory opinion, and I get that sometimes you get to give advice and the city manager can follow it or not. But what we look at there then is what happened afterwards. Well, then there was a lawsuit that was filed, and there was a six-figure settlement that gave them back pay, attorney's fees, and all this kind of stuff. So if you would have listened to some of the citizens that have good ideas and did the work, we wouldn't have had to go down that course. So I really want to look into and see if there's any way we can make some of these advisory opinions maybe a little more binding, so that maybe the city manager might have to give deference to them, not necessarily follow them rigidly, but at least give them deference and explain to us why, in cases where he doesn't follow them, his reasoning why he doesn't follow them. I think we need to do that to help support the people that want to be on those commissions. Because if you don't feel like you're getting anything done, you're going to stop serving the community. And there's too many smart, hardworking people in our community to kind of exclude them that way. And so that's one of the issues that I've looked at and thought about, and I think that's something we do. I think it's upwards of 25, 30 different commissions and boards in University City. So there's plenty of opportunity to volunteer and work, but you want to make sure you're making an impact when you do that work. And so that's something I think is important for us.